Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Mortgage Coaches Training Thursday. My name is Lytle, and I'll be hosting our training today. And what's great, we have Dave Savage in our office, our CEO of Mortgage Coach. And there we go.
Hey, everybody. Welcome. I'm here in Irvine today and look forward to being a guest on today's Thursday training call.
That's great. What we're going to be doing today is we're going to be talking about scripting. And with that, I'm going to have Dave. We're going to keep the video up because it's important about video. And then what we're going to do is talk a little bit about scripting. And I'm going to go ahead and first cover a few items, do some poll questions, and we'll get started. So first off, Marcy, can you go ahead and launch our poll question?
And so actually, I'll jump in, and Marcy, if you have not already pushed it, and we want to know, are you using Edge videos? So real quick, we want to get a feel for everybody on the call. How many of you are already doing videos? So right now it looks like 70% of you are saying no, 80% of you are saying no. Looks like most of you have voted. So first of all, thank you so much for voting. Almost 80% voted, and there you have it. 25% said yes, and 75% said no. All right. So one more question I want to ask before we get started is, do you send videos to realtors? So let's say you met with a realtor, you talked about a rent versus own. Did you create a mortgage coach video and say, hey, let me show you how I deliver advice to realtors? Yes or no? Or let's say you talked about a move-up analysis. Or you just wanted to show them, you know, every time you send me a pre-qual, this is the level of service and value I provide. And you use it as a follow-up that's both experiential and valuable to them. So let's see here, 74% voted. And by the way, it's kind of the same. 20% are saying yes, 80% are saying no. So a couple thoughts to make this as valuable as possible. If you're one of the 20% who said yes, I would love it if you would just, in the GoToMeeting, forward those links to us. We would like to see what you're doing so we can bring back some best practices to you guys. So Lori asked me to join this call. There's going to be some technical training. But before we do the technical training, first of all, let's turn off the ringer. That was me. Sorry, everybody. Before we do the technical training, let's talk about scripts, because what you say matters. So first, I'm hoping that everybody has gone through and watched this Josh Meadows call. It's a great call for a couple reasons. One, Josh is a super successful, very intentional, very process-driven loan officer that's doing, you know, just a lot of volume, you know, top producer, has a team. And this is an interview where out of the interview, it was very structured. I mean, I pulled out a bunch of scripts. So, you know, if you haven't watched this, just consider this basic training. And some of the scripts, you'll notice here we have something called the script kit. And so what this is it's, you know, I've got some scripts from Todd Duncan, great trainer, Jeremy Forcier. I mean, I've interviewed hundreds. I mean, I might be at 1,000 now loan officers. And what you say matters, what words you use matters, and some loan officers have better scripts than others. So the goal here was to net it out for you. You know, has your lender provided you with a total cost analysis to show you how you can potentially save tens of thousands of dollars in unnecessary expenses over the life of the loan? It's a powerful statement, in the words of Todd Duncan. So whether it's how to position yourself with a borrower, you know, what you're seeing on the screen right now is a borrower script, whether it's how to position yourself with the clients, how to position yourself with an agent so that the agent sees what you're doing and how you're doing it is valuable. Scripts that help your agent actually better refer you. So think about that. How, if you could script the perfect referral, what a realtor would say to a borrower, what would that be? We've got it here for you. And then, of course, you know, core questions that we think during a realtor's meeting that you should ask. What are the just essential questions? Jeremy Forcier has 5 questions that he asks every realtor. We got them here. Plus, we have others. Then, of course, we also have in the script kit, sorry, I'm turning the wrong way, are all the questions you should ask after you create a mortgage coach video. So since that's what this call is all about, we're going to really center it around, you know, let's say you created a quick 1-minute netted out video. It was to a family, to a borrower, but you did it in a way that's a competitive advantage with realtors, so that realtors say, I want to refer to all my loans to this loan officer because of the way they're delivering service and value. This is the checklist. You would want to go through this. So I'm going to, at this point, I'm going to hand it over to Lori. She's going to do some technical training. I'm going to look at some of the questions coming in, and I'll be on the first half hour of this call. I do have to leave it at 9:30. So if you have questions for me specifically around sales training, scripting, pretty video focused, now's the time to do it. So Lori, why don't you show everybody how to technically do everything, and I'll come back in.
Okay, that's great. I have a couple questions for those of you who are new on the call. Open up the question area on GoToMeeting. Ask any questions along the way, and we'll go ahead and address them. Candy, I see that you can't hear. Other people are, so it might be your computer. Jerry, I'll be showing you where to find those scripts. Same with you, Debbie. So let's go ahead, and I'm going to go into Edge. So the quick way to find the scripting is in your Edge account we have a help button. So with that, if you go ahead, if you're in Edge, go ahead and click that. So with our, besides all the video tutorials we have here, you'll notice in this recommended playlist and scripts, we have MC training, sales training, and then there's another one for MC scripts. So if you go ahead and open that, that's how you can find those scripting that Dave talks about. And it's great, so what you'd be able to do with some of these scripting, just easily you could copy and paste and put that in your email. So I have an email up, and it'd just be quite easy just to go ahead and paste it and make sure you have all the text there, as I copied and missed the one. So you'd be able to easily paste this information within your emails. Let me go ahead and open this up a little bit bigger, and what I'm going to do is turn off the video for a while. So let's go ahead and shut that off. Great. So with that, in the email, you can see how the scripting has areas where you can go ahead and fill out that information for the borrower. So let's go ahead and make this a little bit bigger. I'm going to show you how to hyperlink with that, so you'll be able to hide that link. So you have the area here that you'll be able to fill in your company name, and you go through, and then again you have your company name and your name. So with that, I'm also going to loop back around with this email, show you how to be able to place your link within Edge as a hyperlink. So you'll be able to hide that a little bit. Okay, so we got the scripting. Okay, Kirk, we'll get back to you on that one. So next, with the scripting, let's go into Edge and let's actually work on the camera piece. Let's get you familiar with how to be able to access the camera and be able to have some pointers from Dave on the video. So what I have here is I have the upper section in Edge. If you've logged into your Edge account, the home section is your client-facing reports, and the lower area is your partner-facing reports. So let me just open up the one I have here for an FHA versus conventional. And just to be able to navigate through the screens, if you hover your mouse over the ribbon at the base, if there's more than one screen, you'll see the jump outs. And it's really easy to go through if I wanted to work on the FHA product versus the conventional product. And then you can just go down directly to your presentation tab. If you click on preview, that takes you to the very last screen. So that way it will make it a quick process when you come in here to be able to either just shoot that video if you already have your report created. So to be able to go ahead and place a video on the report, you want to go ahead and click on Generate Link. This is the link for your report, so you'll be able to copy and you're going to place that in your email. So that's the link that's tied to this report. The next option I want to do is click on Add Audio Video. So what that will do is provide a preview of your report, and if you notice in the lower left-hand corner, you have that Record Message button. So if we go ahead and click on the Record Message button. So hi everyone, I'm back. So let me go ahead and show you some of the technical pieces, and then I'll go ahead and let Dave talk a little bit about talking with your clients. So first off, if you right-click you see settings. So if your camera doesn't come up directly, just click on settings, and you'll see with this box here, you have a camera icon right here. You would want to be able to go in there and look in the drop down for your camera, and that would be able to help you be able to have the camera on here. Same with your microphone. So that's where you would go to be able to have it set. Next is the buttons at the base here. You have your recording button, the play button. You also, while you're recording, you can do a pause. So there's a pause right here, and then you got your stop. And if you ever want to remove a video and replace it, you do have that eraser, so you could just go ahead and place the trash can that will remove that video from your report. So Dave, you want to talk a little bit about placing a message?
Yeah. So couple thoughts. So most often the videos that you're creating, they're, it's a one-time video. You're presenting.
Go ahead and record it.
Yeah. Well, you're presenting mortgage options. It's important to always say the people's name. Hi, John and Sue. It's so great to meet with you. Always honor the realtor. You're so lucky to be working with, Amy Savage. She's the best realtor in the marketplace. I put together two options for you. You can see I put an FHA versus a conventional. Really, I just want to help you make an informed decision. As you can see, I showed you the savings of the conventional loan over 60 months. Most loan officers only show you monthly payments. I'm all about helping you, make the best decision by providing the transparency and the cost over 60 months. And then you see I also showed another option with the principal paid over 5 years, because we really want to help you make sure that in 5 years, if you want to sell your home and move up into another home, we want to be very intentional about what is your principal going to be in 5 years. So goal here is to help you make an informed decision. You could just respond to this email saying, hey, Dave, I want to go with the conventional. That makes sense. That will save you a phone call. And if I haven't heard from you by Friday at noon, I'll give you a call myself. You mentioned that your father-in-law was helping you with the down payment, so be sure to forward this to him, and he can see the information and help you with the decision. So a couple things that I did. Obviously I honored the realtor. I said their name. I repeated back goals. I drove and saved time by telling them that if they wanted to respond via email. That saves them time, and obviously saves me time. That's cool. And then I made it more shareable. I talked about people that I know that are influencers in the decision, so now everybody's in the loop. So I bet you there's not a realtor out there that wouldn't want to work with a loan officer that this is the way they roll. This is the way they deliver advice. So that most of what I just said is all in the script kit. There's some other things, like it's really important, the energy and attitude you bring to the table. You don't want to go be over the top and something that's way beyond the customer, but you don't want to be below whatever their pace is. You want to be just a notch or two above. So be intentional. Be intentional about looking at the monitor. You don't want to be like, looking down here. You want to be intentional, looking at them, being connected, being present in the moment, but also don't worry about making it overly formal. When it comes to your backdrop, I've seen some great videos that were in bars, and they were at hotel lobbies, and they were in airports. I do recommend just, give a look at your monitor, look at your background, go, spend 15 seconds decluttering it and making it better. But don't overdo it. I mean, these are supposed to be just like a voicemail. If you can leave a voicemail, you can create a video. And so I think, if I gave any advice that's most important, it's just do it. It's the more you do it, the better you'll get. And really, until you've created 20 videos, and not 20 videos over 20 years, 20 videos over a month, 20 videos over 2 months. Until you've done that, it's going to be emotionally hard. It's going to be, you're going to have excuses. Well, this customer doesn't need it. Well, there's too much background noise. Oh, I didn't have time. Well, first of all, you have time. It takes 1 to 2 minutes. And I want everybody to think of delivering a video as like kind of one and done. If you want to take a quality app, have a quality borrower conversation, you need to change your belief systems to where you have not taken a quality app, you have not delivered quality options until you've delivered a video. And the beauty of that is all of the stakeholders, as I said on Tuesday's call with Coach Tom Ferry, #1 realtor coach in America, video is powerful because it's shareable. Everybody sees it. So not only is it going to help you deliver better advice, it's going to help you get more referrals. So I know right now I'm kind of, one, inspiring you and trying to really encourage you to do it, and two, I'm giving some practical tips. I'm looking at questions. Where was the setting to bring up the camera? So, right here in the bottom left, when you've clicked on that, record message, and that will pull up your recorder. Is there a certain type of camera you should buy? So first of all, I'll let Lori answer that because she'll answer it more specifically, but I will tell you, you do not need the most expensive camera. And don't let this be analysis by, paralysis by analysis. But Lori, what cameras are we recommending?
What you could do is just a low quality camera. We don't want anything really high definition. Those work quite well because the reason is for the size of the video itself. But what you could do is email us at support. We have links. We have different model numbers for the cameras, and be able to provide that to you. So just email us at support@Mortgage Coach.
Yeah, and I do want to just remind you the high definition camera does not serve you. This is a small little video. You want it to be, we've optimized it to work on mobile. We've optimized it to be really fast. And if you use a high definition, you'll actually be able to record less time because the way our video timer works, it's the size. So I don't know the exact time amount, although I don't think any video should be over 2 minutes. But if you were to use a high def, we're going to strip out a lot of the value. It's going to be a shorter video. It's not going to help you. You're going to get no ROI. And really, when you look at all of the stuff that you're doing online, the only time a high def really serves you is when you're creating something that, you're going to blow it up. And it's not going to be streamed online. It's going to be something that you're using as a marketing, on a big, huge screen in a presentation. Online marketing doesn't pay off with high def.
It was really, yesterday I looked at a video from one of our clients, and it was great because, listening to it, it had a lot of information. She had already talked to the client, so it's just filling her in. But I'm like, she had so much information. It was so personable, and at the end, it was only 1 minute and 40 seconds. So it was great, and I was really impressed with the video. So just become yourself, be natural, and just talk to your client with the video.
Yeah, by the way, someone just made a comment that our window is showing no access to record because that's how we hadn't pushed the record button yet. And then also remember, we're doing a GoToMeeting. We've got a video here. We got video on video. You guys aren't going to be doing a GoToMeeting at the same time you're doing it, but nevertheless, you can see that. One other note, I actually created a quick hit video on this, and I want to show that to you guys really quick while we're talking. So if you have not already subscribed to the Mortgage Coach YouTube channel, highly recommend that you do so that every time we post a new video, you'll get an alert there. Also, I want you guys to make note that we have what's called a playlist here. So I just started a new series called MC Unplugged, and I interviewed Darren Hardy and Tom Ferry. You guys probably already know that. And so we have that. We have what I call MC scripts. You'll notice these are like 6 minutes, 2 minutes, 3 minutes, really short, quick hits. For all you loan officers out there that aren't delivering Mortgage Coach all the time, I created this call with Josh recently where it's about changing the conversation from being a fee worksheet loan officer to being a Mortgage Coach loan officer where you're providing comparisons, you're delivering unique advice. So this is a training that, I just want to create some value around. I have our advanced training, and this really lands on what I wanted to share you right now, is the Gaylord Hansen team, which is just a top producing team out of San Diego. They have two really valuable videos. One, which is they have a lot of listing agents that refer them for what they call cross qualification, and they talk about how they get a 70% conversion rate because every time they get that cross qual, that second opinion, they're creating a video and they're getting a better conversion rate because of the way they're delivering that. Yeah, you qualify, and they're delivering a mortgage experience. They also do what's called borrower updates made easily. So what they are doing here is they're not just creating a Mortgage Coach video one time. They're doing the initial pre-qual, which is what everybody in Mortgage Coach land does. And then the person gets into escrow, into contract, they update that video. So they do an in contract. Oh, got it. They do, I didn't know that the video was off. Lori just told me to put it back on. There you guys go. They do, when it gets in contract, they update the video with, okay, we're in contract now. Here is the loan you want to move forward with. They update the video when it's approved. They updated it for change of circumstances. They update it when docs go out. They update it in funding. And they're also now doing annual reviews. So they're using it as a communication portal so that not only is it, here's your mortgage advice, they're keeping it updated. And that way, the husband, the wife, everybody that they've trained to go into Mortgage Coach is being updated. So they find it as a super efficient, super effective way to leverage Mortgage Coach videos to take a great app, to build confidence, but then to manage that throughout the process. So again, this is a quick hit video. I'm going to go ahead and put this in the chat of the GoToMeeting so you guys can just click on it. But so I have just put this in chat. Everybody can go and grab that now. But my goal is that you guys know how to go out and find this stuff in the future. So again, Mortgage Coach, make sure you subscribe. Make sure you're using playlists. I took all of from the Josh Metal video, I broke that down into 10 videos. If you're a branch manager, we've got something for branch managers. I have this, what I call MC sales training videos. So just what I consider the core videos and scripts from Jeremy, from Josh, from how to write a perfect email. So again, just want to make sure you guys were aware of all of these tools and all of this content. And again, some of it relates to video, some of it would just relate to basic success and sales training. So Lori, I'll let you jump back in and
Let's check out the
go from there.
Let's see. Okay. Oh, the no access record, it's just it's a real simple, if you email us at support, you'll be able to fix it real quick. It's with your camera. So it's not a big deal, just email us there. Okay, so the question, this is from Sean. I use the video option all the time. My question is, I encourage the client to come back to the program to view different loan option payments during the shopping process. How can I continue to change the video since I'm constantly changing the program purchase price? That's great. That's just what Dave was talking about, of updating the videos. And all you need to do is go ahead and press the trash can, then start re-recording a new message. So it's that simple. Be able to do that and keep it updated throughout the process.
Yeah, and then the person that asked how to subscribe to YouTube, just go to our YouTube channel. So search Mortgage Coach in YouTube, or you can go to it from our website. So if you are in the Mortgage Coach website, you just click on this little button right here, and that takes you to our YouTube channel. And then within YouTube, there's an actual subscribe button, and just click subscribe, under your name, and boom, you are now a subscriber of that YouTube channel. And again, the cool thing about that is every time we upload a new video, you'll get an alert. You'll know that we uploaded a video, and just way to keep stay in the loop in Mortgage Coach land.
Yes, and as for a laptop camera, that works fine as well. So you're fine using that one and don't need to get an external one.
So everybody, I'm going to be jumping out here in the next 7 minutes. If you have a question for me, hit me in the next 5 minutes, and we'll make sure we get it answered. Do want to put a push in. I think everybody knows about the weekly coaching calls that we're having, but if you go to the Mortgage Coach website, you'll notice that we just added an image. I'm thumbing through this right here to try to pull it up. Here you go. Here's all the calls. We had Darren Hardy kick off the month, Tom Ferry Tuesday. I got former Navy SEAL Phil Black this coming Tuesday. Robert Ring is going to be a really neat call. He's a millennial. He's only been in the business a couple of years. He's in his 20s, and he's a top producer. He's kicking butt. And I'm going to invite Dan Keller, an ex, guy in his 40s, and I'm going to invite a fellow boomer. I turned 40 this year, so I am a baby boomer. And I'm going to invite Eric Union, and we're going to talk about how to have mobile conversations with realtors. So we're going to talk about how you could be meeting with a realtor in a Starbucks, having a mobile, valuable conversation, where you just pull out your mobile device and if a rep versus own is going to create urgency and value for them, you pull out your mobile device and you just start walking them through it. And we're going to talk about how millennial loan officers, us 50-year-olds, how we're having value where we're showing strategies and we're talking, we're sharing, and we're showing it at the same time. So kind of an interesting call, pretty fired up about that. And then, of course, the Gaylord Hansen team, they're just awesome. They're so process-driven. We're talking about a team that's closing 20-plus units a month in San Diego. So they're big loans, and these guys just have one of the best mortgage practices in America. Really good loan officers, so think of that as a site visit. So want to remind you, every Tuesday, 9 o'clock, think of that as a sales call. And then these calls on Thursdays, it's like whatever question you have, we're just going to get them answered. This one is not as technical. Usually I'm not a guest. I'm the sales guy. And Lori is just, crunching out how to do this, how to use our software to do this. Email support, we'll answer that in support. So, make sure you tell others to come to our Thursday call, and I hope to see you on the Tuesday call. I'm going to just look for questions before I leave, and then I'm going to jump out of here.
That's great. Thanks so much, Dave. I really appreciate that.
All right, guys. That's it. Have a good one. Also, we're trying to get some buzz on our Facebook page, more interaction from you guys. So, please, share stuff with us, like things that are valuable to us, and engage with us at Mortgage Coach, our Facebook, Mortgage Coach at Facebook. Take care, everybody.
Thanks, Dave. Appreciate it.
Thanks for inviting me, Lori.
Oh, you're welcome. It's a great call. Thanks. Okay, everyone. So let's go ahead, and I'm going to go ahead and turn off the video. Let's see. I almost turned off the. There we go. So, everyone, I hope you really got a lot out of that. Dave can explain, like you said, I'm more technical. So, again, from the help button within Edge, you can go ahead and reach our video tutorials. And just remember in the middle section here, recommended playlists and scripts. That's where you can find the scripting as well as the training. But it'd be a good idea, go ahead and sign up for the YouTube page for Mortgage Coach. So let's go ahead and do a couple items. So we did talk about, we're on the Mac, about embedding a link. So what I wanted to do, I am on a Mac right now, and on a PC it's quite simple as well. So if you have a link, you can see how I placed it in this email. Obviously, you would have more of an email. Again, you could grab the scripting. I just want to show you how simple this is to be able to do. Let's get that font a little bit bigger so you'd be able to see. So a lot of times you could go ahead and place this link on the report. If the borrower clicks on it, it directs them and opens up the report form. But sometimes that looks a little bit ugly. So if you want, you could do, if you have Mr. or you could do the last name. So you could say if you're working with the Robinsons, you can say a personal. Now you know why I'm not in sales. Robinson's report. So something a little bit more jazzier, okay, guys? Let's get that big. So now you have part of the email, and what you want to do is embed that link behind it. So what I'm going to do is I'm copying the link, and now all you have to do is the item you want to be able to hyperlink, just highlight it, like I highlighted the full words, Robinson report. If you're on a PC, you would just right-click and then find the word hyperlink right in here. What I'm doing, I'm on a Mac, and you can see up at the ribbon at the top, I have an icon that just says Insert Hyperlink. So if I click on that, and then I paste in my link, you can see the link I have right here, and I press OK. Now, Robinson's report is a hyperlink. So all they have to do is click on that, and what we find out is the fact that because it has their name behind it, it's more personalized. They're more wanting to click on that than just a big link like this. So that's how you hyperlink. And if you're not quite sure of those pieces, of that step-by-step, email us at support, and we'll be able to provide that to you. So
So that will help you out in with your emails, and that's just a straight hyperlink. So let's move this back over. Okay, we're toward the bottom of the hour. So what I would like now, let's go ahead and bring up the report one more time. Just remember before we close out, move off of the video, just when you're doing a video, you can always, if you can't find the camera, it's right-click and it's settings that you would want. So anywhere on the report, you could go right-click in settings. You can see how it's bouncing from my microphone. But again, those are the areas where you could go ahead and identify what camera you're going to use as well as what microphone. So it's always good when you start a video, especially the first time you've been on it, just do a quick sound check. Bring up the video report. Oh, I'm back. And just run a quick sound check. It saves you time, a little bit of frustration, making sure, the camera and the microphone are set. Okay, so we're going to dive into a couple items here, but first, before we do you have any questions? Are there any specific areas within Edge that you want to go ahead and address? We do have another 20 minutes, so if there's something specific you want to be able to see, we could go ahead and dive into that. Otherwise, I'm just going to work on some of the tools within Edge that will help you get through quicker. So I went ahead, I'm back at home. So if you're in Mortgage Coach, if you're in your Edge account, go ahead and go through these steps with me and get familiar with it. First off, for any of you who are new on the call and haven't really dived into Edge, when you first log in, you're going to have some sample reports in here. If you want to just get familiar, just go ahead and click on any report that you have. There are different styles. You'll be able to see the rent versus own, the TCA, as well as open house flyers down in the partner section. But to encourage you to get comfortable with Edge, what I would like you to do is, if you haven't created a report, just go ahead and grab a sample report. You'll go ahead and access the file, and just as I mentioned, you have your ribbon down at the base. Just hover your mouse over presentation, go into preview, and go ahead and record a message. Get comfortable with the camera. If you want any suggestions, then go ahead and take that link and email it to support, and we'll be able to provide any type of suggestions that we see. Richard, okay, Richard, his question are, when are you recording the message? How to highlight certain areas? So that's a good question. Actually, you can't do it, but it's fine. When you record a message, what Richard is asking if you'll be able to capture the highlighting behind, and you won't be able to. But Richard, that's what Edge Live is for. With Edge Live and you're working with the borrower, you can highlight different areas on the report, and it will highlight on the borrower's copy. So that's the interaction, the live dynamic of Edge to be able to reach out. So the video message is just that, a message to the borrower. And then when you talk to them on the phone, that's when you use Edge Live and really get the report jumping. And I'll show you Edge Live in just one moment. And Mary Kay, she was asking about a conventional on combo loan. Are you talking a combo loan like an 80-10-10? And Jeff, that's a good question. How do we remove a video so the report comes up without a video? That's great. So let me go ahead and bring up the message. So record message button. And when it comes up, you'll see the buttons down at the base here. So right there, it's the trash can. If you press the trash can, it will remove the video, and then it will go ahead and not be on the report anymore. Also want to point out when you send them the link, they can also minimize the report. They'll also have a button in the lower right-hand corner to bring back up the video to watch it. So you have that. I hope that answered your question. Okay, Mary, it is an 80-10-10. Last week, we did cover our coaching call on silent seconds as well as an 80-10-10. So I want to touch base a little bit with Edge Live to go with the video so you can see. And then we'll go ahead and show you that. So let me, and going all over the place, guys. Let's close. If you look on, again, back on the Mortgage Coach website, where we talked about the, so let's go in. I'm on the website, it's mortgagecoach.com. I'm clicking on Coaching Call Archives. If we don't get to it, Mary Kay, it is last week's call training Thursday right here, and we're covering 203Ks on that program as well as the 80-10-10. So now let's go, and I want to work with Edge Live because I really believe it's important for you to know how to take the report that you sent the borrower and be able to discuss the different options with them and be able to have that live interaction. So first off, let's go ahead and get the link to my report, and I'm going to open up a new tab. So with that, I'm placing the link within the tab itself, and I'm pressing return. This is just as if the client, your borrower, clicked on the report. This happens to be the desktop version, but I do have, let's go back. I do have this report as well on the mobile device, so let me bring that up. There we go. So they have the mobile device as well as the desktop version. So depending on where they're at, they can always view the report when they're out and about. You can see how on both reports they have the disclosure language. So they can't access the report until they press I understand. So all your compliance people will be very happy with that. And click on I understand. So you see how the video automatically just starts playing. So it automatically turns on and will start playing. Same with the iPad. It will go ahead. You'll see how that video is in the corner. And now let me set up one other item, and let's go ahead and work with Edge Live. Just give me one moment, everyone. I'm setting up the report side by side. So this is the easiest way I find out to explain it. So with Edge Live, first off, when you're looking at the report, let's clear this out. Okay. You'll notice in the bottom right-hand corner, there's a save, a print, and a share button. So the print and save, the borrower can print and save just as well as you can. So it always sends a link. If they want to do a side-by-side on the coffee table, they can print a copy, set them side-by-side. Again, it's on one sheet opposed to having multiple fee cost sheets. So just to show you, here's your print. You go toward the base of the product, you'll see your fee cost sheets right there. So next, now let's talk about Edge Live. So when Dave was talking about that conversation, about that video, now it's time to talk to the borrower and discuss their loan options. And that's where that highlighting comes in. So when you're talking to the borrower and you're talking about the FHA product, you see how I highlighted that column. And the way I did it was at the very title, I just clicked on it, left click, and it highlights the whole column. So then if you wanted to talk about the conventional, I unhighlighted, and then I highlighted the conventional product. So you can see how the borrower would be able to easily follow you in the conversation by you being able to point out different areas on the report for them. At the very bottom, I'm pressing Clear All. So just to distinguish between the reports, on the left-hand side is the loan officers. This is my copy. I'm making the highlights on this copy, and you'll see how it shows up on the right-hand side, which is the borrower's report. You'll notice at the very bottom there's no Clear All button, as I have on my left-hand copy. And what the Clear All button does is clear out all the highlights for you in one shot. So now if you wanted to discuss the interest rates, as you're discussing different options with the borrower, you'd be able to highlight those areas, and it will highlight on the report, as well as, let me bring that back over, I'm also driving the presentation on my iPad. So if I wanted to go into the More Info button to discuss that payment breakdown, So if I click on the more info, you can see I have on my copy it opened up, the desktop's opened up, and I've driven my mobile to the payment breakdown. This is where you could go ahead and discuss the P&I, the monthly cost, as well as the difference in mortgage insurance. And you can see how I was able to discuss this and talk and how it's driving the two presentations on the right-hand side. So that's the reason why you don't really need to highlight the areas behind the report. You could do that while you're talking with the borrower. And not only are you able to just discuss the report, if they want to see changes, you could go ahead and make those changes. So David, you want to go, let me show you again how to start this process. I'm going to go ahead on the left-hand side, that's my copy. I'm going to open my report a little bit bigger so you can see the screen. So I'm clicking back into Edge. What I did is click on Generate Link. You'll see an Edge Live button. Just to let you know, that Edge Live button and that Preview button is one and the same. They do the same function. So either way, you want to enter it through Generate Link or Preview. Once you click on that, you'll see the Preview presentation. And you'll always be able to know it's yours because of that Clear All button in the center, as well as the fact you can highlight. If you had the report link up, you would not be able to highlight at all on the report. As you can see me doing on the right-hand side, I cannot click or highlight even the graphs. I cannot do anything. But you can see I'm highlighting on the other side as well as bouncing around on the reports. And I just brought up a different report than my right-hand side. So let's go ahead and copy that link, place it in here, and leave that page. So you can see how it went ahead and provided my disclosures, information, and the highlighting. Also to remind you, when you're talking about the different graphs, you could go ahead and bounce those graphs as well. So when you're discussing the different items. More info button. This is what Dave was talking about in the new forms that are going to be coming out in August. They do talk about the 60-month savings. I do have 84 months here right now, so let's modify that. And this shows you how Edge Live works. So in the short-term area and long-term area, this is how you want to talk to your client. You find out that they're going potentially can move in 4 years. You just come to Edge. Let's change that 84 months to 4. I'm pressing close. Next thing I want to do is go to my analysis screen. You'll see in the upper right-hand or left-hand corner my 84, so I'm changing that to 60. As soon as I advance the screen, that saves your data. So as soon as you advance the screen, and I go back to my report, you can watch that lower left-hand side, and you'll see how that 84 months will update, and we now reflect 60. It also did that on the borrower's copy. So that is how Edge Live. So Julianne, it's not a specialty that you have to access Edge Live. It's just bringing up the loan officer's copy. And you could do that if you go to Edge and click highlighting presentation with my mouse, going directly up to preview. Once you're in preview, click on the preview button or generate link and Edge Live button. What happens is you get the report. This is where you want to do any kind of highlighting before you send the report to the borrower. So maybe I want to show the differences in interest rate. So I highlight those, or you want to show them the cash to close. You have those options. Once I have it highlighted, I'm going to my right-hand corner. You'll see the share button. It's really easy to grab the link from that share button. So you just highlight, copy, and then you can place that link in your email. So I want to show you that shortcut. You can always grab it through the share button. If you want to, if you're sending any questions to support at Mortgage Coach, always include that link, and it's easy to grab just by the lower right-hand corner. So that's how you access it. So just always remember preview or generate link and use Edge Live button.
And once you're on there, if the borrower has the copy, they'll be following along with all the highlights as well as adding and removing products. And you can see, Mary Kay, you can see my silent second right there. So this is the report I used last week. So you'll be able to see the difference between an FHA, a silent second, so that shows the shaft, like a chaff loan. This will show you how to treat that silent second in last week's video. And then we have the conventional 5% down. So this would be able to show you all those different options in last week's video. So let's go ahead and clear that out. So today, I have about 5 more minutes. We need to end today's call slightly early. Are there any other items that you would like me to direct? Otherwise, I'm going to just keep focusing on Edge Live. So what I want to be able to point out with Edge Live, when you're talking to the borrower, you can make any changes, say, to the down payment if they start talking to you and they want to find out a little bit more or less on their down payment on what they want to send. If they want to be able to do 10%, what does that look like versus 5%? Any of those changes you can do so quickly in Edge. You do not need to, like if you're sending a cost sheet, and a lot of times you have to go redo the cost sheet, send it to them, first make it a PDF, then do the email. But it's really easy if I click on Edge. I go into my products, and you can see on the right-hand side, let me go ahead and pull this down so I could close it. So you can actually see the changes. So I'm going to change, let's bring up my report because I can't highlight. Let's go ahead and close this out. We're going to go ahead and modify the loan amount. We're going to change it with this different down payment. So if I hover my mouse over products, you'll notice the jump outs of all 3 products. I'm clicking on conventional 5%. I want to now make it 10. So because I have the down payment, I already did that last week. You could go ahead and see. So let's say I changed to 5% down. Let's modify this number to 5% now. Remember, any change, you have to advance the screen. That is your save. Now you'll watch the screen. You're going to see the bounce of the graphs when the P&I payment changed. You see how it just jumped. And same with the loan amount. And this will update just shortly. So you can see how it's so advantageous to use Edge Live with your clients. It's not just sending the report directly to the borrower to have them look at it. You're providing them a video introducing yourself as well as Edge Live to really drill into the questions that they have. The questions, maybe different products, and you be able to direct that with Edge. So with that, any last questions? Otherwise, I'm going to start wrapping it up a little bit. I do want to show you how to do a quick copy. That's a nice little function to be able to know. If you're in Edge on the home screen, you'll notice the View All buttons. When you click on the View All button, it allows you to access all your files. So either you could do a sort, or if I just click on Search, it will bring a list of all my files. So you'll notice I have my MI comparisons up here. And the way I was able to see my reports for that particular borrower or marketing piece, I click on that gray arrow, and then it identifies all my different files. So say I had an MI comparison marketing piece, or just one I have, so I'd be able to send someone, I want a specialized message on this particular one to a client. What I do is just highlight the one I want to be able to use. I choose Copy Analysis. I can do it into the current one, but if I'm working with a new borrower, I might want to start this process off and use that person's name. So I click on New Client, press OK, and you'll see how we'll go ahead and copy that information over, but it strips the borrower's name. So if I just put in John Smith, I made my copy. I want to show both products. This happens to be monthly MI and lender paid. I'm not changing anything to the data. I just wanted to copy and put on a new report for a new borrower. So put in their name. You can always update their contact information if you have an address and you want to put it. Not necessary. But just come directly to presentation and preview.
and then go ahead to generate link and place a recording on there. So it's really quick to be able to use a report that you've already created, copy it over, and then place on that video. So with that, I am going to be wrapping it up. So remember, help button will take you to our coaching call archive where you can get the coaching calls as well as all the videos. And I do want to point out our search engine. So in our search engine here, if I put in the word live, it's going to go ahead and place out Edge Live on all these video tutorials that we have. So that's a quick way to be able to understand Edge Live and be able to search. So also if you have any kind of questions over the weekend and unable to access support, just come in here, questions on MI, and do a search. So that's a quick way of being able to get in and out and being able to understand different tutorials. With that, everyone, thank you so much for attending the call. We will have this recorded, and we are going to be placing it under our coaching call archives for you to be able to access. If there's any topics that you want to be able to see on our Training Thursday, please email us at support, and I will go ahead and we'll address it on our next week's calls. Thank you, everyone, and enjoy your day. Okay, thank you, everyone. And I don't see any other questions coming in. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and wrap the call. We'll see you next